I think I am a really open-minded person, but I think everyone naturally has a cultural bias. And as an American, you realize the world doesn't revolve around you. Not that I thought that, but Americans are taught that, and it's always a good reminder.
There we go.
Okay.
Well, now I'll start with the small talk.
Okay.
That's awkward. Because I'm also very conscious about the camera.
Yeah, it's a new thing.
But how did you find Hà Giang Loop so far?
Oh, it was really beautiful, yeah. I think it was such a different way to see a place, and I've never been on a motorbike before, so yeah, it was fun. It was exhausting though, I'm tired.
Have you done anything like this before?
No, not that type of tour. It was a completely different way for me to see a place, so it was definitely something out of my comfort zone, I think, for sure.
And when did you really start traveling?
I feel like I've always loved travel. It's just always been like what I wanted to do. And then traveled a bit, in my 20s, and then COVID has disrupted that a bit, so it's been kind of trying to get back into it. So just the last couple of years I've done a couple trips. Before that, it was just like lockdown, and I did a lot of road trips and stuff during COVID and traveling a lot of the US. But I'd say now it's become a routine. Yes, and it's become a routine of every year I'm going to go somewhere. But I do prefer international travel for sure.
So I wanted to ask you, why do you travel?
I travel, to just expand my perspective and my horizons. It's so easy to get in this very small world of what you're comfortable with. It's such a privilege to be able to get out and see that the world is so big, and it gets me out of my own head and my own problems a little bit, and gives me some humility of there's so many people on this planet, and there's so many different ways to do things. There's so many different cultures, there's people who have vastly different experiences than me, and at the same time we're also all very human, so it also makes me feel like very connected to people.
Well, you said expanding your perspectives, right? Mm-hmm. What exactly do you mean by that?
It's so easy to think that the world that you grow up in or the world that you live in is the way of doing things. And anytime I go to a new place and just learn different customs or different foods or the way people say things differently, it's just, I'm always so curious about that. I think I'm naturally a pretty curious person, and I'm so fascinated by the way humans behave. It always just reminds me that there's so many different types of ways to be in the world. I'm just one tiny blip here, and I think it's very like humbling, because it just reminds you, it's just like, I'm a blip.
And not just that, all the mountains and the nature in Hà Giang just humbled me so much.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I'm merely a dot.
Yes.
I'm a dot from someone who's like watching the streets from like the top. They can't even see me.
It's like a very nice feeling, I think, sometimes. You know, and you feel like all of your issues are so fraught, and then it's just
meaningless.
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I stressing out so much? Well, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. I know, that's why I like nature too, because I feel like it reminds me that I'm just a part of something bigger.
But what's one thing that you thought was given, that people do it everywhere, but it turned out to be not?
Oh, I don't think I had any of those like assumptions necessarily. I guess I'm just aware of my cultural sort of bias. I think I am a really open-minded person, but I think everyone naturally has a cultural bias. And as an American, you realize the world doesn't revolve around you. Not that I thought that, but Americans are taught that, and it's always a good reminder. I think like one thing is Americans are very good at small talk and smiling, and realizing that other people don't sort of start a conversation with those like niceties is something that I don't think I knew that before I started traveling. And then I was like, oh, not everyone everywhere spends a lot of time on that kind of like smiling and sort of giving these pleasantries, and that's one thing I didn't really know, that's like kind of a uniquely American thing. It's been really kind of cool to see that it's totally just our cultural way of doing something, and it's not the right way, but it's just different, I guess. I feel like for me, I grew up in a place that valued intellectual thought and being really open-minded. That was how my parents raised me. It didn't really have anything to do with our particular ethnic culture. I'm sure that could play a role for some people, but with me, my parents kind of just raised me to be really open-minded. And I think if you grow up in like the Western, like West Coast in the US, you're kind of raised with more progressive, open-minded mindset. The more that I travel to, the more open-minded I become as well.
How do you define being open-minded?
I think just being willing to be wrong and just being willing to be... I have a way that I see the world, but that is not the only way. There are so many different ways, and not coming in with a judgment of, oh, this person does something differently than me, so that's wrong. Being curious, being willing to learn, I would say, and always having that idea that you're mind can change and that we're not set in our opinions. I think I'm always very much questioning my opinions and what I believe, and I think that's really important.
But do you think your opinions and how you view the world kind of solidifies as you grow older?
I think some people definitely. As you grow older, your world can get very small because as you get older, you get into a habit of maybe career and family and things. But I don't think that necessarily has to happen. I don't think age necessarily means that. I think many people continue to grow and have a really open mind as they're older. It's like totally just, I think, just like a choice of their mindset.
And then do you think traveling is a must for you to grow and stay open-minded as a person?
I think there's many ways to grow and stay open-minded. Putting yourself in learning about other people's stories, I would say, is a way. And I think you can do that because I think not everyone has the ability to travel, and it's a pretty privileged thing to be able to do. So I wouldn't say that's like the thing. For me, it is certainly something that is very important for my growth. But I think any ways of accessing different ways of seeing the world, and I think we can do that through books or movies or any sort of way that you can put yourself in someone else's shoes, I think is really important. And surround yourself also with diverse opinions. The more we have people around us who are different than us, I think that's a really important thing too.
Because everyone who joins the Hà Giang Loop, everyone has a different story.
Yeah, totally.
We all just happen to be here.
Yeah.
I personally find it really beautiful. What are the chances of us all being here at this exact moment doing exactly the same thing?
I know.
Experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, and each person has their own story, and it's just, which is very, very cool.
A group of people with different backgrounds, different history.
Yeah.
Sharing like a fragment of a life, like just experiencing the same thing.
Totally.
I think that's crazy.
I know, and it's nice because we come together for just a little short time and then I might never see you again, and that's okay, and it has like its own sort of beauty to it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to ask you, how do you define home? What is home for you? When do you feel home? When do you feel most comfortable?
I think that has a lot to do with the people I'm around. So I think if I'm around people that I have closeness and really sort of deep loving relationships with, that is, for me, it definitely feels like home. I think feeling like just in a safe place. Actually, I really feel like I'm also at home always in nature too. I like going in nature by myself because I always feel so at peace with everything, and I think I can find that anywhere.
Do you have the ability to feel home anywhere?
I think so. If I have access to a quiet place in nature, I will feel very at home. And I think I've had moments of feeling at home too, connecting with people and feeling that deep connection too, and that sense of deep connection when you meet someone can also feel that way.
So your definition of home isn't tied to a physical space or a country?
No, I don't think it is actually. Yeah. I wonder if you ask people who don't travel much what they would say. Like they might say it's more like a physical place,
I feel like that's why when you're with other travelers, you kind of feel home.
You have your own little community and you have this shared experience.
It's like this modern nomad community.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the best parts about traveling, for sure, is the people that you meet along the way.
And also the people who define home as the people. I think they also have the ability to also provide home to other people at the same time.
Yeah, totally.
You feel really safe around those people.
Yeah, especially if you're like solo traveling. All of us kind of understand what it feels like to feel lonely or to feel vulnerable, and most of us feel really open to meeting new people and feel excited about that. And there's a certain level of being kind of bold to go solo travel. So I feel like we all find each other and it's just, oh cool, maybe a similar personality.
This
and like,
unspoken respect towards
yes,
each other.
Exactly. You're like, oh my God, you're traveling alone too in Vietnam. We already have so much in common, I feel like there's just like that camaraderie a little bit.
Okay, and the last question, I guess. Do you think you've learned anything through Hà Giang Loop?
Oh my God, I've learned a lot through Hà Giang Loop. Yeah, I think I learned a lot about myself. And my limits maybe, and I don't know, it was such a different way of seeing the world. I learned a lot about some of the people who were there and some of the ethnic minorities who were there, and also I think we witnessed some of the poverty that was going on there. I think we learned about the food. Yeah, I think I learned a lot about my travel companions, and I'm still trying to take away those lessons because we just ended it, and I feel like in the next few days I'll be like processing it. But yeah, I feel like I learned a lot, and yeah, it was a really meaningful trip.
If you could do it again, would you do it?
I don't know. I think I would do it differently. I would definitely do travel by motorbike again. I think I would go slower and I would want to mix in other things. I like slow travel, and I like to stop. If I like a place, I like to stop and stay there for a few days. So I would have loved to stay at each of the towns we were in for a couple days, maybe get more of a chance to talk to the locals, go hiking, get on the river, just have maybe more variety. So I think I would do something like that in that fashion again if it was a little bit more at my pace.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the time's up.
Okay.
I think this is it. I think it was amazing. Thank you so
Cool.
much.
Of course, you're welcome.
Thank you
It's
so much.
Such an honor.
Yes.
I hope it was good enough. I feel like my energy is really low right now, so it probably wasn't the greatest interview I could have given.
No.